Alright, now that we're in the Revit model and we're ready to place our MEP spaces, the first thing that we need to do is verify that the Revit links have the rim bounding parameter checked. In order to do this, select each Revit link, go to the Edit Type button on the Properties palette, and verify that the rim bounding parameter has been checked. You want to do this on all the Revit links that are inside your Revit model. The reason is so that your MEP spaces will actually find the boundaries that it needs to find. Once we've verified that the rim bounding parameter is checked for all your Revit links, we go ahead and start placing our MEP spaces. To place an MEP space, go up to the Analyze tab on the ribbon and go to the Spaces and Zones panel and select the Space button. This will launch an active ribbon called Modify Place Spaces. On this active ribbon, you have three main buttons that we're going to be looking at. We're going to be looking at the Place Spaces Automatically button, the Highlight Boundaries button, and the Tag on Placement button. The Tag on Placement button is very straightforward. When it's highlighted, it will place an MEP space tag on every MEP space you place in the view. When the Tag on Placement button isn't highlighted, it doesn't put an MEP tag on the MEP space that you put in. The next button, Highlight Boundaries, allows you to analyze where an MEP space can go within the active view you're working in. When you select that button, it will highlight any element within that view that an MEP space can adhere to, whether it's a door, wall, window. Once you've analyzed where an MEP space can go in the active view you're working in, go ahead and escape out of the command or close the dialog box that comes up with the command. And the final button on here, Place Spaces Automatically, will do exactly what it describes. If you select that button, it will place a space anywhere an MEP space can go within the active view that you're working in. And once you've placed those spaces automatically, it will tell you how many it placed. Another way to place an MEP space is manually. When you select the Spaces button on the Spaces and Zone panel, you're in the Place Space Manual mode. In order to place a space manually, all you do is move your cursor over the area that you want to place the space. The space will adhere out to any boundaries it can find, and you just click within the space where you want to place it. And you continue to place your spaces manually, as many as you need, wherever you need them. Related to spaces, you have the Space Separator command. What the Space Separator command allows you to do is it allows you to carve up those larger open office or lobby spaces. For example, in this open office, it has two exterior walls, one on the north exposure and one on the west exposure, plus the interior space. So what we're going to want to do is put a space separator in here that will allow us to put multiple MEP spaces within the same area. So we're going to go to the Space Separator command, which is up on the ribbon on the Analyze tab on that Spaces and Zones panel. Once we're in the command, we draw the space separator line, and it will cut back the space and leave a void area. We put another space separator down along the western exposure. The reason why you want to carve these things up is because of those thermal properties are going to be different along these different walls. Down in the lobby, because of its size, we're going to split this into two spaces, one interior, one exterior. To be more accurate with your spaces, you don't have to eyeball your space separator. You can set a dimension to them so you have a set offset distance from your exterior walls. It also allows you to use multiple shapes. You can use an arc, you can use circles, you can use polygons, you can use lines. What this allows you to do is follow the various objects within the model that you're going to need to follow in order for your spaces to follow the exterior walls. Once you have your space separators in place and you have your new voids, just go back into your space command and manually place spaces where those voids were created. One thing to note, when you're placing your MEP spaces, you're going to want to put spaces inside column enclosures. You're also going to want to put them inside mechanical chases or piping chases because you're going to need them there in order for your loads to be accurate and for your design to come out accurate. So when you're placing your spaces automatically, don't worry about the fact that Revit wants to put spaces in those areas. You're going to want them in there and you're going to need them in there.